you know, that kind of hurts a little. Stop. That's my eyeball. Oh my God. Okay. Peekaboo. No, this is not what I want. Stop. Hey, hey, that's my skin. Stop. I'm old. I have to point it out. That's my bags. As you can see, my cages are not always sparkly clean. This is like 2 days of nasty because they were all out on top of the same cage at the same time, because the other night I did not put them up. I'd like to get it to a point where they don't have to go in their cages. Maybe I could set it up like the whole room is just one big cage. What are you doing? We're gonna have to see how that works out. Maybe more so when the cat moves out with my oldest daughter. But it's definitely a thought I've had. Does anyone else think this is a good idea? Because I really want to do it. I think they'd be happier. The only thing is I'm afraid they'll bond with each other more than they'll bond with me. So Tilly's is a little bit gross too, but I think it's because I put the play top on top of there. So they've all been kind of hanging out. But Sammy's is like the cleanest one out of the bunch. She doesn't make a huge mess. And generally she doesn't make a huge mess either. But Ash's cage is covered in it because they hang out there most. And then Tilly's is pretty dirty too. And then the play top where the play top, which here, it gets really dirty too. And the food, Sammy likes to throw all of her food. So I just filled up their food bowls yesterday. Sammy likes to throw all the food out. So she's got like a treat bowl, but I put, no, that's not nice. No. You don't get praise when you're mean. You just don't. No. You don't get praise when you're being mean. It's not nice. Tilly is very jealous of Ash and doesn't like when I show him any attention at all. So usually the only attention I get to give him is when he goes to the floor and I get him, or I have to keep my hand between the two of them because Tilly will try to go after him. Don't you? Meanness. So I've got water in here too. It's just, I use the same bucket every single time I clean their cages. I don't switch buckets out. One of them I use for my floor cleaner, so that would be bad. And then we use just, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Just vinegar and water and clean it. And as you can tell by the earlier part of this video, this room is a hot mess. So it's been a couple days, 2 or 3 days since I've deep cleaned it. And with 4 of them in here, the amount of dust, I really should do it every other day. But sometimes I don't feel good or I get lazy, and I know I need to. Are you serious? How are you gonna growl at me like that? This is my everyday life with Tilly. You see this mess? This is life with this bird. I'm his everyday jungle gym. Every day. What are you doing? We were gone earlier. We had to run to town and I had to go pick up an inhaler and do some other stuff, and it's just a rescue inhaler. I have issues with COPD and asthma. So just went to pick up an inhaler, and while we were gone, my oldest daughter, Nakoma, calls me and she says, she's called and talked to us for a minute. I said, she's like, what does your bird say? Like, what does Tilly say? I said, well, he says good boy. I've heard him say peekaboo. And then I think he says, what are you doing? And she's like, he does. I was like, you heard him? She's like, he is talking a lot right now. She said, I had to come back here for something and he is talking a lot, which makes me happy. I thought about putting a camera back here so I can catch him saying stuff, like everything that he says, because we keep a radio playing back here all the time too, so I can imagine what he's picked up from just the radio. You a talker? Are you my good boy? I think I'm gonna go grab my big stand, which they're gonna hate, and record myself doing some of this cleaning because I'm bored and I don't have anything else to do. Might as well take my time, right? Anybody else just like to stare at your man when he works? I don't know if he just heard me, but he just smiled. Our windows cannot be that thin. Oh yeah? Say it again. What are you talking about? You like watching him when he works too? Hmm? Okay, let's do this. What? I stop freaking out. Calm down. Again, this is just vinegar and water. And they ain't gonna clean the cages, so they're gonna clean a lot. Volume down, please. I don't put newspaper in the trays for my bird cages. I put it inside the cage. They like tearing it up, but it also helps keep everything in the bottom kind of cleaner, so it doesn't fill up as fast. It's just easier for me. So please don't show my toes. I'm probably not going to record myself cleaning all four of these because I don't know. I don't think my phone has that much memory, honestly. I really need, well that was smart. I really need to pressure wash everything. But I think I said this before, I don't have a sliding glass door to be able to take them outside. So these bigger cages, the two smaller cages can be taken outside, no problem. But these two have to be taken apart and moved from room to room because my doors aren't big enough to fit them. Hello, Tilly. And now I see that cleaning that first was stupid. Well, hello. You can stay out here. I'm not in a cage anyway. So, see if I can move you without them freaking out. It's not gonna happen. It's so dirty. Good job. Good job. That freak out wasn't so bad. I have started slowly taking all of the like store-bought perches, the ones that come in the cage. I've slowly started taking those out. And I'm just gonna add the natural perches as often as I can. Also, I have a tree outside. This one's gotta go, it's really bad. I have a tree outside that is a pine tree, and last year, I think it was last year, the electric company came through, or whomever, yeah, and they topped it, and they cut off some limbs. And ever since then, if you please stop. Ever since then, the tree is dying. So that's a whole lot of natural perches in my backyard that I plan to make my husband cut off and help me make them into perches. I need to watch a video. I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Yeah, need to watch that. I know you're supposed to put them in like water or soak them or whatever. Are you serious? I know that you're supposed to soak them and stuff. And then I think you're supposed to bake them. And I'm sorry, but my stove isn't that big. So I don't understand how that works. You just don't care, do you? No? You're all right. So, in these grates, I know you can't see because you're really far away, but you know what I'm talking about, like the pieces that connect. They get so dirty, and it's so hard to get in there. So, other than a pressure washer, if anyone has any ideas on how I can get those spots clean without taking it outside and spraying it down with the hose, please let me know. Help me. Like, this is just a rough wipe. This summer, I'm hoping to get them outside and really like scrub them down. No, you can't chew on the rack, that's gross. It's got too much bacteria in it. You guys, oops. But I'm glad you're not scared. With 4 of them and trying to get in between the crevices and the cracks and all the craziness, and I had to put my hair up because Tilly won't stay out of my hair, so I can't see with my hair in my face. He doesn't care that I'm cleaning. He still wants to be all over me. I started off with the bigger stuff. I already emptied a bunch of it into the trash. The way that I put the newspaper in my cages is I put it inside at the bottom, and it seems to really make them happy. Not only that they can shred it, but it also helps keep the bottom cleaner, which you can't tell because I just knocked a bunch of stuff from the top because I was stupid and I cleaned the bottom first. Don't do that. Don't be me, okay? Did you poop on me? So the bottom I use mainly as a catch tray. It does catch a pretty good amount. And I took the seed guards off, but I'm kind of regretting it because now there's stuff like all around the cages all the instead of, why did I just do that? No one knows. Instead of everything being, I get flustered. Four birds in one house, in one room. It is a whole room, but it is also super, super messy. There's stuff all over the back wall behind Wasabi's cage. He likes to dip his food in, which I'm sure a lot of other birds like to do, but he likes to fling it. And I've heard that's like a Quaker thing. I'm sure it's an every bird thing. Sammy doesn't do it a lot, I guess. Probably does, honestly. I'm shedding. I'm on Wasabi's cage, and I just said, don't be like me, and I'll do it again. Sammy hates this part. Hates it. Like a lot. She doesn't like when you clean the cages. She's very afraid of it. So, you're gonna hear her scream a lot. Adjust you. There we go. I've noticed that keeping the newspaper on the inside of the cage really does help me a lot more in keeping it clean. Don't remember who I learned that from. I know that it was someone on YouTube. I will try to see if I can find her, but she uses paper towel, I think. Don't know if she uses newspaper, but when I was a home health aide, our clients would just throw them away, so I would bring them home and reuse them as, I'm getting really low actually. My niece is supposed to be saving me some. Wasabi's cage doesn't really get as dirty, but it does get really dusty. Both of the babies, their cages get super dirty. They are very messy. These cages have actually gotten pretty bad in the last couple days. I've been procrastinating. I'm on Wasabi's cage, and I just said, don't be like me, and I'll do it again. hates it, like a lot. She doesn't like when you clean the cages. She's very afraid of it. So you're gonna hear her scream a lot. Adjust you. There we go. I've noticed that keeping the newspaper on the inside of the cage really does help me a lot more in keeping it clean. Don't remember who I learned that from. I know that it was someone on YouTube. I will try to see if I can find her, but she uses paper towel, I think. Don't know if she uses newspaper, but when I was a home health aide, our clients would just throw them away, so I would bring them home and reuse them as, I'm getting really low actually. My niece is supposed to be saving me some. Wasabi's cage doesn't really get as dirty, but it does get really dusty. Both of the babies, their cages get super dirty. They are very messy. Cages have actually gotten pretty bad in the last couple days. I've been procrastinating. My cages are not always clean. I actually do sometimes take a few days to clean them because it's a lot. At some point, I'm hoping that we can take the carpet out of this room and lay down tile, because it would be so much easier to just sweep and mop instead of having to bring the vacuum back here, because I know that they hate it. I also need to get a bigger trash can for back here so I don't keep having to take the one. Hey, stop it. To keep taking the one from my, come here. Keep taking the one out of my kitchen. Ah, Tilly. Oh my goodness. When I clean my cages, I always take their water out first. I do their food last because they like to snack on it while I'm cleaning their cages. They like to do the ones on top of the play tops, and then occasionally they'll go inside and eat in their cages while I'm cleaning, which keeps them a little bit out of my hair. So I always do food last. That does not keep them from flying around this room like psychos. And they like to go after each other sometimes, which is what happened just a minute ago. So I had to get Ash off the window because Mr. here likes to chase him and attack him if he gets any attention at all. Don't you? Because you're jealous. You're jealous. There's so much to do back here. So much. No, I need that. If it's attached, you can't have it. So Wasabi and Ash's cages are both clean now. For the most part, it was like a rough once over. I really need to take them outside and like go to town on them with a power sprayer. So I can get in between all those little creases that are hard to get through. I'm getting ready to clean Tilly and Sammy's cage, which theirs are, Tilly's is generally pretty messy because he's a baby. Freaking crap. I can't win today. Okay, so Tilly's is pretty dirty. Sammy's isn't horrible. She just likes to throw mounds and mounds of her food everywhere. So I'm gonna start on Tilly's, and like I said, his is really dirty. There's literally poop everywhere. I'm pretty sure that he's the one that got poop on my ceiling. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was him. So I try to get in every crease, and some of it is really hard to get in, especially when you've got zip ties in places. They generally scream almost the entire time that I am cleaning. Anything that disturbs them, they scream about it. So if you're gonna get a Quaker, you need to be prepared for that. Exhibit A. The other three are over there screaming. Gives me a headache. But I love them. If you live in an apartment and you've got one of those neighbors, you know, that complains about everything, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Because eviction? I don't know. Lots of mad neighbors. Lots of them. Tilly and Ash somehow, which it's not really somehow, I know how they're doing it, but even Wasabi tears his up and he still doesn't make half the mess in the bottom of his cage that they do. So they like to tear up the newspaper, and as I said earlier, I like to put it on the inside because it just helps a lot more of the growth stay clean. It's a little bit easier to go around. Hey honey, can I have some fresh water? He hates me when I make him help me clean the cages. He hates me. He brought me my fresh water. Now back at it. I am done for the most part with Tilly's. I am switching over to Sammy. Tilly still isn't. Tilly's was for the most part clean, just like theirs. Like I still have to do their food, but again, I do that last. Sammy's isn't horrible this time, but I need to figure out something with the perching in here, because there's poop all over everything. The perches are so hard to keep clean. especially when they want to hang out on top of their cages all day long and just poop. I'm gonna quickly wipe down Sandy's cage. Everybody keeps yelling in the house, and I got a kid in here now. Fine, you know what you did. Start, stop, because we got a psycho cat out there who likes to come in aggressive, try to eat my birds. About time for a new rope in hers. I still have to, I already said this, but you still have to vacuum and clean the stand in the middle of the room, the PVC one that we built ourselves. I still have to clean it. My face is itching. All four wiped down pretty good. I've got to clean the stand in the middle and lay all the newspaper in their cages, and other than filling up their water and changing out their food, that is pretty much the gist of what I do with their cages, at least on a normal basis. This stand in the middle gets really dirty. Well, not really the stand, but the stand that it sits on is completely covered in poop and food. Husband's yelling at the cat to try to keep him out of here. Hey, can you move back from me, please? Away with you. Gonna let that soak for a second. This rag is dry. It's a fresh one. I always end up covered in poop by the time I'm done back here. Don't let him chew on you really hard. I told you.
Doesn't hurt.
He's steady chewing on her lips. He tries to do that to me, and it hurts. You look ridiculous. Why don't you set your head up so he will get off of your nose? If he poops in your mouth, that is your own fault. Do not let him chew on your teeth. Let it set for just a minute. And it doesn't mean it comes off. Like shellacked on there. Could have done without that. If you have never owned birds or you do not own a bird now, bird poop, once they get it on there, if you don't wipe it off, it gets like cemented on there. It's really, really strong, and it takes a lot lot to get it off. Letting it soak and all that stuff, especially on the walls. So I normally have newspaper under here, and I don't know why I didn't do it last time. I will be super washing my hands when I'm finished though, because this is pretty gross. Hi, Tilly. It's done. I'm covering it in newspaper now. Hopefully it'll help for the next time I need to clean it. It usually does. As long as they don't tear it up when they're out, things stay pretty clean. Just hang over. And I don't really want to waste more paper than I have to because I'm getting so low on newspaper. Thought about switching over to the like the bedding that I've seen people use for, well, the stuff at the bottom. But like I said, I like to keep my grates clean by not having that at the bottom and putting the newspaper on the inside of the cage. It is clean and the newspaper is now on it. I keep food in these little side bowl or cups, and because I had a moment when we made it, we super glued them in. I regret that. I regret it a lot. I ordered some bowls. I ordered these. I thought it would be perfect. Like I said, I super glued them in so they won't come out. And I can replace it, but even the PVC is not big enough for this to fit in. So, I mean, that's pretty big in my opinion for their little feet. And I don't want it to get bigger. Is it poop? Okay, just a feather. I get pooped on a lot. A lot. I'm going to put all of the newspaper back in their cages. Calm down. Do you have a death wish? Do you? Because you're pushing it. So the cat is right outside the door. And Tilly's used to the baby gates being up, so even if he lunges, he can't get him. They're not up right now, so he can and will get you. No, you don't make that noise at me. What are you doing? What? What? He likes to growl at me. Birdie growl. Tilly's back there chilling on my butt. It was. I don't know how much of a video I made from this, but if you like it, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day.